Forex robot trading, real or scam? I want to dive into this topic for you and put to rest all of the misinformation that you will find if you go search this topic on YouTube or really anywhere. And I'm going to speak to you from years of personal experience manually trading and also robot trading. Let's talk about some of the myths and what are they not telling you. Let's look at this. Myth number 1. They will tell you that Forex robots are set and forget. But I want you to understand and be careful what you believe. That's one of the biggest problems I find in the Forex or foreign currency exchange world is what you believe. Now, yes, I'm asking you to believe something different. But I can tell you this, again, from deep experience, years of experience, that even though some people that are selling robots will tell you that they're going to give you a set file, it's typically the person buying the robot has a perception of what robots are. Robots are about automation, and that makes them believe that a Forex robot is simply put it on a chart, set it, forget it, walk away. It handles the entire thing, and that is not true. And here's why it's not true. Because if you manually trade Forex, you should not just enter a trade and walk away and hope that it all works out for you. There are things that you need to and should manage, and it's the exact same thing with a Forex robot. Let me put this into your mind. A Forex robot is simply an automated Forex trading option. It automates the Forex entry. And in fact, it takes so much stress away from you if you can use a robot that enters the trade for you. Frankly, I don't know why you would ever manually trade, but we'll get into that just a little bit more. Let's talk about myth number 2. Forex robots will blow your account, so avoid them. Now, I have experience trading hundreds of Forex robots, and I know for a fact that a robot will not blow your account any more than your terrible manual Forex entry or trading strategy. You will blow accounts manually just as much as you will automatically. So let's just get clear on one thing. Forex robots on their own don't just blow your account. You blow your account. And we're going to talk about some of the ways, really the rest of the things we're going to talk about is some of the ways to make sure that doesn't happen. Again, I don't care if you're robot trading or manually trading. You need to know how to not blow your account. It has nothing to do with the robot. It has everything to do with you. So let's look at myth number 3. Forex robots are a scam. That's just kind of across the board. I see a lot of people that are completely inexperienced with robots saying, well, they're a scam. I would tell you right now, I own most of the really popular robots on the market. Not one of them, not one time have I ever been scammed from buying a robot. People call these things scams because, let's be honest, they're complicated. They're complicated at first. Just like Forex is complicated, just like a personal manual Forex entry strategy is complicated, I'm going to go as far as to say what you see on the screen here. I think, in my experience, the real scam is manual trading strategies because there's so many of them and they're so convoluted and indicators, all of that stuff. If that's the direction you're headed, you're in trouble. Now, yes, there are Forex robots that will use certain strategies and certain indicators, and there are strategies and indicators that work. But typically, they don't work very well, especially if you're using them manually. If you program a robot or you get a robot that is programmed to follow a strategy or an indicator, I find that they're extremely on point. However, it goes back to myth number 2. They don't just blow your account. It's you that blows your account. Let's talk about some ways that you blow your account with a robot. You bid too much. Same thing can happen manually. You take too many trades. Same thing can happen manually. You enter a trade and it goes against you. That happens to robots. Happens a lot in manual trading. What's the one common denominator there? It is trade management. Let's talk about that. So I say here, what's missing? What is missing from this entire concept is trade management skills, whether you're using a robot or manual trading. But let's focus on the robot concept. Number one thing, a robot is not always right. Just like your manual trading strategy is not always right. I'll give you a quick example. If you're going to manually trade, you have to spend, let's be honest, a lot of time in front of the computer, maybe up at all hours. You've got to be watching the charts. The robot and robot entry strategies take all of that away. I would much rather have a robot that enters a trade for me, and then I can set up a notification, let's say on my mobile phone. I can see that I'm in a trade. At that point, I have an option to cancel out of that trade, or let's talk about this first trade management skill that I'm talking about here, hedging out of a trade. It's something that's not taught very much. I'm not going to teach it here, but I've at least opened your mind to the concept of hedging out of a bad trade. That's the number one trade management skill that, like I said, is not being taught. However, I know it's the number one way to get out of a trade that's going against you. And I'm going to make it even easier for you. There are automated recovery robots that will hedge you out of a trade. How do I know that? I have one that I use and recommend inside of my robot trading service. What do? I send profitable trades to people. I don't care if you're brand new to Forex or if you've been in Forex for a while and struggling. I send people profitable trades. It's a terrific way to break into the Forex trading industry. And as it says on the screen, I actually recommend an automated recovery robot. It's not something I created, something I found on the internet. I have not seen it lose when it's recovering a trade that's in drawdown. I have not seen it lose as long as you haven't let your account go so far down and have so little margin to recover. Nothing's going to recover from that. But if you set yourself a limit and a manual trade or a robot trade has gone against you, you can actually use the automated recovery robot that I recommend. And like I said, in my experience, it recovers every time in profit. Another thing that messes up and what's missing from people's trade management skills, things that are being taught, is I call it a mind virus. It's something that's passed on from person to person to person. And I'm not saying they're doing that to you on purpose, but people have said, and you'll hear it everywhere in the Forex industry, set a stop loss or only risk 2% of your account. My question is, why are you willingly taking a loss? If you understand how to hedge out of a trade, or if you can use the automated recovery robot, you don't really have to set a stop loss. Because here's an interesting thing about setting a stop loss. If you set a stop, a place where you want the trade to stop and you'll take a loss, if you set a stop, the trade will move and you will take a loss. Set a stop, you'll take a loss. Again, I don't know why anyone would willingly take a loss as long as you have good trade management skills. Or only risking 2%, that's fine if you have 189 years ahead of you to trade. But if you want to make some money and some income, you're going to have to risk more than 2% typically. Now, what do they mean when they tell you risk 2%? What they're saying is take 2% of your account, set a stop loss, and if the price goes against you, go ahead and take the loss. It's what everyone's telling you. I'm going to tell you the opposite. And I have massive success doing this. Now, yes, if you don't know how to hedge out of a trade, if you don't have a trade drawdown recovery bot, then I guess you just have to take a loss. But me personally, I will not willingly take a loss if I have the proper trade management skills. So here's what I'm going to suggest to help you. The moment you hear someone saying that Forex robots will blow your account or they're a scam or you can just set and forget them, and like I said, be careful what you believe, because none of that is really true, because you're hearing that from me, and I am a very many year, deeply experienced Forex robot trader. That's what I do. And in fact, let's be clear on something. I do not have a Forex robot to sell you. So I'm not biased in the sense that I'm trying to talk you into Forex robot trading. I'm trying to maybe talk some sense into the industry and frankly open your mind to what all of the other people are driving you away from, because they have the mind virus. They have bad information passed on from people that they mean well, but they don't know that they're passing on all of this bad information to you. And then finally, if you'd like to take all of the work out of Forex and get out of this crazy work hard, stare at the computer screen, manual trading nonsense, you can go over to FXwithTerry.com and I will send you profitable trades. I'll also give you a recommendation and show you how to use the automated recovery robot that I'm aware of that I use. Again, not a robot that I created. It's a robot someone else created. And yes, I do teach trade management skills, hedging out of a trade. But again, the number one thing I can help you with is I can send you profitable trades from my account. The exact same trades that I take. It's not a signal service. It's not a robot. I'm going to send those trades to your account, directly to your account. And I give you a control panel where you can turn it up, turn it down, turn it off. You can take more trades, less trades. You can take trades on only certain currency pairs. You can increase the lot size, decrease the lot size. You might call it a profitable trade entry service. So that's it. I hope this video was valuable for you. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and start getting the real information from someone such as myself who has been there and done it and who's doing it right now and has the ability to weed through all of these, like I say, mind viruses that people are passing on to you that frankly just are not true. That's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video.